Hello. Hello everyone. Welcome back to EduTap. So welcome back to another very fruitful session of your RBI Grade B exam. So first of all, if I'm audible and visible and if my screen is visible to all of you, can you please give me your confirmation in the chat box with via a thumbs up, or you can also write yes so that I can proceed with my session now. Anyone from the anyone who can give me a thumbs up? Okay, so great. So today, my people, the overall target for us is to decode, and literally we will be solving each and every question. We will be seeing that how each and every question which came in the FM paper, in the FM paper of 2022 of your phase 2 RBI grade B exam, that how we have to identify some low hanging fruits, how we can use a component of taking risk, how we can also avoid certain questions wherein we don't know even a single iota of knowledge. So in these particular set of questions, I am decoding all the objective as well as the subjective part for you. So before beginning, I would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are new to this channel, as well as you can also subscribe to our Telegram channel for getting various free stuff, as well as you can also get the PDF of this particular lecture in our Telegram group. The link of the same is given in the description box below. So first and the foremost is the APFC sale which is currently going on in the EduTap. You can use 50% advantage and the cost will reduce by 50% on these three courses, that is APFC Master Course, APFC Test Series Plus, APFC Test Series. Okay, so the code is APFC which is valid for 24th and 25th. So now let's move to the first question which was there under the one marker domain. We all know there are 30 questions, out of which one marker constitute 10 questions and two marker constitute 20 questions. So total objective component is of 50 marks, which has 30 questions. Okay, so let's see who gives me the right answer of question number 1. The question is on your screen now. I am giving you exactly 1 minute to solve this particular question. Let me see who gives me the right answer of question number 1. So this is regarding a very important scheme which has been introduced by RBI for financial inclusion, which is your PIDF. PIDF stands for Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. And this is one of the most important, I would say, financial inclusion initiative which has been taken by the Reserve Bank of India. So the question is regarding the PIDF scheme has been operational by the Reserve Bank of India from 1st January 2021, and it subsidizes deployment of certain point of POS infrastructure. Now the question is asking you that RBI envisages created dash lakh touch points every year for digital payments. So here the correct answer will be option C, 30 lakhs. So RBI is aiming to create 30 lakhs digital POS machines, and this will be done in tier 3 to tier 6 centers. Okay, so you first have to understand that how RBI is targeting tier 3 to tier 6 centers plus northeast areas. So this will increase your financial inclusion net in this particular area. Okay, so if you see, the committee was also formed under this particular committee which was regarding BP Kanogu. And if you want to see that how we have covered this particular thing in our EduTap course as well as via different I would say free YouTube lectures, you can see that how Kritika ma'am has critically decoded each and everything which was there on the RBI website. So this is an exact screenshot which I have pasted on this particular slide because that would give some authentication to it. Now coming to question number 2. Dash is a 20-character alphanumeric code used uniquely to identify parties of financial transaction worldwide. Now here I would say this is a component which was there in current affairs as well. Okay, this was your component which was in current affairs as well. At the same time, this is a very important component of your banking awareness. Different codes like IFSC, full form of RTGS, what are the different conditions of RTGS, what is your NEFT, all this forms a very important component of your banking awareness. So RBI has just taken one, I would say, leap. The dash is a 20-character alphanumeric code. So alphanumeric code used uniquely to identify the financial transaction worldwide. So yes, the correct answer in this particular question will be legal identity identifier. So I can see Amulina is giving the right answer for this particular question. Now, my counter question to you is that you can let me know your answers in the comment box, or you can also let me know in the chat box, which is currently going live. What is the size of BIC? What is the size of BIC? What is bank identifier code? What is the size of it? Your options are 7 to 11 7 to 11 digits, 8 to 11 digit, 9 to 11 digits, or is it 11 to 10 digits, or is it nota? So this is my question to you. What is the size of BIC? And we all know that bank identifier code is used in SWIFT code. SWIFT is again a very important component of your financial system. IFSC is your 11-digit alphanumeric code. I hope you know about this. This is a very important code which we use in our day-to-day lives as well when you have to transfer any amount via IMPS or if you are visiting any bank branch. So this is a very important code when it comes to the Indian banking system. So this is the overall coverage in our 2 units. You can see that we have I'm not justifying that. I'm just telling you that how we have covered this particular thing very beautifully. And this was also covered in RBI notifications that was in the news because of the current affairs. And if you see your banking awareness part, that we have also covered different types of code which every student who is targeting RBI Grade B 2023 exam should read. Now coming to question number 3. Under which method the communication flows from top to bottom in an organization? Now those people who do not know about regarding journal management, okay, so those people who do not know regarding journal management, then though they cannot answer this particular question. If you see, there are two, or I would say two very hallmark people, stalwarts of journal management part. The first is Henry Fayol. We all know that he is the father of administrative management, also known as modern management. So he is the father of administration plus modern management. At the same time, we also have this F.W. Taylor. Okay, he is the father of scientific management. So this is a very easy question, I would say. Henry Fayol have given 14 principles of management, and out of that particular principle, among all the 14 principles, we have picked one, that is your scalar chain. Scalar chain is all about a particular line of communications which happens in an organization. For example, if A wants to communicate with Z, then he will first go with all the different superiors which A have. For example, B, X, Y, and then the communication will finally follow to X, or finally follow to the Z. So this is what scalar chain is all about. The answer of this particular question will be scalar chain. It's a very easy question, I would say. Nothing much to worry about. I should say this is again a low hanging fruit for all of you. So all the 3 questions which we have discussed right now, a serious aspirant should score 3 out of 3, because if you are not able to score in such questions, then sorry to say your final selection could be in hurdles. Yes, I can see that Emolina is giving the right answer for 8 tours of BIC code. So good to see that you are able to answer it. Again, we have covered this particular concept of all the different principles of Henry Fayol in our course. You can see that scalar chain is principle 9. So I have just taken the screenshot of scalar chain to show that how scalar chain is an integral part of Henry Fayol 14 principles. So Henry Fayol 14 principles is a must do for all of you. Now in the coming exams, they can ask you that what is the difference between unity of command and unity of direction. So they can ask you different things based on Henry Fayol, because Henry Fayol is the father of administration management plus the modern management. Question number 4. Again, this has been taken from your current affairs part. So this is how RBI is taking random lines, I would say, from the current affairs, which are I should say integral to the part of Indian economy as well, or integral to the sub parts of Indian economy like MSME, financial inclusion, and so on and so forth. So they are not asking you any random questions, rather they are asking you some specialized questions. Anji. So who will be giving me the right answer for question number 4? This particular question is regarding MSMEs. Let me see my chat box who can give me the right answer. And this question would, again, I would say it as a moderate, because we all know that previously when Nitin Gadkari ji was the Minister of MSME, he changed the overall definition of MSME. So that wasn't very much in the news. Yes, the correct answer of this particular question will be B. MSME plays a very important role in the development of Indian economy. In the same regard, what is the small scale industry summit limit investment wise and turnover wise? So investment wise, they can invest 10 crore, and turnover wise they can invest 50 crore. So always remember that turnover limit is more than the investment limit, because turnover is generally more than the investment which companies generate. As simple as that. Yes, I can again see Amluna is giving me the right answer. So her preparation is going on the right track. So again, this has been covered comprehensively. You can see, just to save time, I have directly copy pasted this screenshot so that you do not have to read so much. Question number 15. Now I have already told in the 2021 FM paper 2021 FM paper, we have solved that particular paper, and you can find that particular link in the description box as well. That OC, that is organizational change, and OB, that is organizational behavior, are very, very important when it comes to the RBI syllabus. Now why they are important? Because they are newly added topic, and we expect RBI that they will be asking more questions on these two domains. So now you can see in which stage of leave-in change model. So this has been clearly discussed in organizational change chapter of your course. Leave-in change management model, we see reinforcement strategies practiced by the management. So there are three stages, we all know. First is you have to unfreeze. You have to come out of that particular, I should say, state which is going bad. Then you make certain changes, and then you refreeze. And when you refreeze, you make certain good adjustments, and you also make certain reinforcement strategies. So that is an example of this particular stage, which is also known as refreezing. So the correct answer will be option C. Again, I would say this is a low hanging fruit. Why? Because this is again very easy. You can easily answer this particular question under less than, I would say, 1 minute only, or max to max you can take 1 minute and 30 seconds. Now again, I have just copy pasted the screenshots to save our time, so that you do not have to read so much. And I have also used this yellow highlighter so that you can directly note that how good we have arranged our concept notes as well. Like this is a 3-stage model which we have discussed under organizational change, and this is a diagram which we have used to explain our students. Refreezing, my friends, refreezing the state of it is also known as the state of equilibrium, and under this particular stage we have a approach of strengthening plus reinforcement, so that all the change which we have done maintains there for a long period of time. Now let's come to question number 6. In an organization, an employee is reliable, dependable, goal-oriented, cooperative. So this particular question has been taken from your personality and perceptions. Again, a very easy chapter to decode, because you can certainly apply all those principles of different personalities on yourself and learn. So under question number 6, the question says that you have to identify that particular type of a character of a personality which is reliable, dependable, goal-oriented, and cooperative. So if I am saying that this particular characteristics, these were the 4 characteristics which were given in the exact question, and then your answer will be conciseness. Okay, so if you see, there is a very big ocean model. If I hope you know about it. Ocean model of personality. Under ocean model, we have seen that how O stands for openness, C stands for conciseness, E stands for extraversion, A stands for your agreeableness, and N stands for neuralisms. Now I'm not explaining each and every component over here, because there are certain conditions. Okay, but again, just to give you a highlight that what ocean model is all about, I have pasted this particular slide, pasted certain screenshots which we have directly taken from my course. That is Big 5 personality model. If you see chapter number 11, if I'm not wrong, of your course, FM static course. Personality and perception have different domains. Like there will be different Carl Jung's personality classification, and there is Big 5 personality trait, which is also known as ocean model, which I have just discussed you right now. And therein we have clearly, I should say, discuss that how each and every component of every personality, for example, what is agreeableness, how agreeableness can be high and low. So if you see, this has been a note which I have taken for conciseness. You can see that how different examples are also very much used, and this is a very, I should say, tabular representation of data for all of you to remember it. As simple as that. Now coming to question number 7. As per the recent development in the financial market, what is the FPI limit on corporate bonds? FPI stands for foreign portfolio limit. Now, if I'm asking you the FPI limit on corporate bond, that is 15%. Now, why I know this? Because this was very much in the news regarding the different conditions which have been updated by RBI. So the correct answer will be option B. And if you know, this particular session was taken by Kritika ma'am, because she is dealing with all the RBI notification, and she is covering all the different notifications of RBI in very much in detail. You could clearly see this is the question which she has discussed in her class, and you can see RBI has directly picked that question. I would say not directly, but the reference was there. Okay, so just trust us, and we are covering all your courses, and we are covering all each and everything which is demanded by the exam. Question number 8. In the most general language, blaming of one unethical behavior is on other is called as. Now, this is the question which I would say you should leave, and I should say, if you are totally blank on it, then it's completely, I should say, fine, and you could leave it. But at the end of the day, if you have even slightest of knowledge, then you can attempt it. In the most general language, blaming of one unethical behavior on other is called as displacement of authority responsibility. Many people have marked this answer as euphemistic labeling. So please understand that all the unique options certainly sometimes can give you a kickback. They are not just unique because they are the correct answer, but even RBI can play a game with you. So what is displacement of responsibility? Displacement of authority is something when you try to give your blame to the other person. This is also known as bystander effect. Now, this is I think they have taken it from the ethics component of your syllabus. But again, my friend, ethics is very wide, because for someone who is studying ethics for the first time, they cannot cover ethics in one go. So that's why we have covered ethics via different 10 videos which we have uploaded in our course. So each and every day, if you are targeting RBI Grade B 2023, you can see these 10 videos of ethics which we have uploaded in our course, and each and every day you can finish at least 2 quotas of video and you will be a master in your ethics component. Question number 9. Identify the form of communication. Here you have to identify the form of communication when messages flow through all the levels of organization, and under such form communication messages cross all level of hierarchy which are present in the organization. So this is the keyword. The correct answer in this particular question will be diagonal communication. Now, if you see, diagonal communication is also known as crosswire communication. So now if you apply the reverse engineering knowledge, which we generally say that is reverse engineering, you could have seen that crosses all the levels of hierarchy. So that is the theme of crosswire communication. And in my different live practice sessions, in my different YouTube sessions, I have clearly told my students that crosswire communication is synonymous to the diagonal communication. For example, if there is let's take purchase function department over here, okay, then this particular person who is working over here will communicate to the person who is working in sales, and this particular function, this particular department is above the purchase level. Okay, so this is what your, I should say, crosswire communication means. Crosswire communication means when two people who are working on different department communicate, and they crosses all the different levels of hierarchy. Now coming to question number 10. Now this is also a very, I should say, question wherein you can take your luck, or I should say you can completely play safe. Playing safe is good, but sometimes playing extra safe is bad. Okay, so I think this particular question is an epitome where you can take some risk. Import and export code is mandatory and applicable to which of the following question? Now, if you are aware that DGFT, Director General of Foreign Trade, they have been pushing all the different exporters of India to update their import and export code. So that is what RBI has just picked, and they have formed a question on this particular domain, that is import and export code is mandatory and applicable to which of the following institution? The correct answer will be all of the above. Now if you see LLPs, which are a mix of your companies as well as partnerships, limited liability partnerships. Now, if something is applicable to LLP, you can also say that is something applicable to partnerships as well. Now, why I'm saying this is a very general statement I'm giving you, because I'm just saying that how you can use certain logics and take certain risk while attempting this question. So, if I was on your place, I could have gone with the option E, because I can see that LLPs and partnership have certain, I should say, linkages part. So in this question, I would say you can take that particular risk, and I should say wait for good returns. Now here we have completed all the 10 mark different questions which were there in the 1 marker, and there were total 10 questions. So according to me, the good score is 8 plus. I am leaving 2 questions because of import and export code, and also because of the ethics question which was there. Otherwise all the different 8 questions were scoring, and if you could have taken the risk, then you could have also scored good in the import and export question. So again, 7 to 8 you can take. My final call will be 7 to 8 out of 10 would be I should say good thing to go with. Now let's move to the question which were there in your particular exam, and these questions were of 2 markers. Now let me see who give me the right answer for question number 11. There is a very slow participation which is there in the today's session, but that's okay. I hope you all are preparing for NABARD right now. But right now, let's focus on question number 11. So this is the, I should say, memory-based paragraph which we have created by our own, because copying the exact paragraph is not possible. Okay. So therein RBI has discussed organization is a mechanism which determines the relationship between various programs and various persons. With the help of well-defined organization, management is able to perform functions of direction, coordination and control. An ill-defined organization plan will not be level management to 6. So this is a journal paragraph which they have given to explain the importance. But what the question they are asking is, how many levels are there under organizational behavior? Now I am just repeating again, OB, OC. These are must-do chapters if you are targeting your RBI 2023 exam. Okay. OB they will be going basics only. In OC they can ask you different models. So how many levels are there under organization behavior? 3. So there are 3 levels which we talk about. First is the individual level, then we also talk about the organization level, and then we also talk about the group level. Okay, so this has been clearly depicted in your, I should say, in your concept notes as well, which under the scope of organization level. So you should see that under scope of organization level, there is a individual level which is working, then there is a group level, and at the same time there is organizational structure as well. Under organization structure, we see that how organization design and job design are done. Under group we focus on the team, and under individual we focus on the personality, motivation, supervision and so on and so forth. So I can see Amluina is giving the right answer again. So kudos to you, you are going on the right track. Now again, based on the same paragraph, they have asked you another very easy question, I would say. Identify the level. First you should know how many levels are there. So we have just discussed there are 3 levels. Okay. So now RBI is asking you that you have to identify the level of organizational behavior wherein an employee's motivation, personality, expect and job interest are studied. So very easy, employees motivation. I have just told you that employees motivation, personality, leadership and perceptions are studied under individual level. So I should again say this is a low hanging fruit, and you should accept this low hanging fruit with grace. You should not be overconfident while you are marking, but you should accept it with grace, and you should mark your answer confidently but not overconfidently. So this is an overall synopsis of this particular question. So there is an analysis at individual level. We have also done analysis at group level, and the third stage, which is also known as analysis at team level. So we have clearly, I should say, we have clearly demarcated all the lines which you should study. So if you are studying this particular paragraph and there is including this particular example, then all your conceptual clarity will go on another level. It will be very high. Now if I ask you any question which is based on different OB models, or which is based on the different basics of organizational behavior, you could have easily answered it, but the first and the foremost condition is that you need to have high conceptual clarity. If your concepts are weak, sorry to say, you will not be able to answer any easy question as well. Now let's move to question number 13. Again, the same paragraph has been given, and the overall theme of this particular paragraph is to show you the importance of organizational structure. Now here the RBI is asking you regarding this particular concept. With regards to above mentioned paragraph, you first will have to read that paragraph. From the following options, identify the concept which explains the heterogeneous composition of employees in an organization in terms of age, gender, language, ethnicity, origin, education and marital status. So they have given you different adjectives, and via then you have to identify which concept deals with the I should say this particular line. So I'm waiting for your answers. Let's make this session a bit interactive. If you have any doubts regarding different concepts, you can let me know. I can solve your doubt as well. But for that, you need to type your answers in the chat box, or you need to show your participation at least. Yes, the correct answer here will be workplace diversity. It will not be employee diversity. Mind you, if you are seeing all the all the different components of management, then please be specific to different words which you are using. You cannot say that workplace diversity is as same as employee diversity. Under workplace diversity, you will see different employees who are coming from different I should say ethnic origins. They are coming from different parts of the country, and then the organization forms up. So the correct answer will be option A. So I can see again Emolina has given the right answer, so she is really very prepared for RBI 2023, and I wish her all the best. Question number 14. Now, again, there was a chapter which is known as corporate governance. Every year, RBI has been asking questions from 2021 onwards based on corporate governance. Either it will be descriptive or either it will be a objective part. Last year, if you see in 2021 exam, they have asked you many questions on corporate governance under descriptive part, but this year they have opened up the gates and they have asked you many questions on corporate governance under descriptive plus objective. So this is an importance of those chapter which I should say many people do not focuses on. They focuses too much on the first chapters like motivation, communication, leadership, journal management, and the rest chapters for OBOC and corporate governance, they do not pay that much attention. So now this is an eye opener for all of you to please pay an unequal, or I should say equal attention, equal attention to each and every chapter which has been uploaded in your course. If I'm not wrong, there are 16 chapters which have been uploaded in your course regarding management. If you see starting from different components. So each and every chapter is important and you need to understand that which part is important and plan your strategy accordingly. In each chapter, we have given you orientation notes in which we short as ON, and we have also provided you the PYQ documents. So these two documents should be the starting, I should say, stone for you. Analyze the orientation note and analyze all the PYQs and then plan your preparation accordingly. Yes, here the correct answer will be 500 crore. Why? Because as per section 135 of Companies Act 2013, okay, earlier it was 1956, but it has been updated to 2013. So now let's read it again. As per section 135 of Companies Act 2013, every company having a net worth of rupees 500 crore or more will be eligible for CSR activity. So what is CSR? CSR is the social responsibility of all the companies which are presented incorporated in India. As simple as that. So they have to give certain percentage, which is generally the 2% of their profits to the CSR activities which can help the society to uplift. So if you see in the corporate governance chapter, my friend, we have discussed, in the corporate governance chapter, we have discussed regarding different committees. For example, last year in 2017, so if I can recall in year 2017 or 18 something, they have asked you regarding Uday Kotak Committee of Corporate Governance, which was set by SEBI. So under Companies Act 2013, you will see that there are certain important sections, like for example 151, 135 and 135 again. So under 135, we see that corporate social CSR comes in. So we have clearly defined this particular paragraph in your notes. And mind you, my friends, RBI has just taken this particular paragraph and they have formed the question of 8 marks. Yes, there were 4 different questions on corporate governance. So if you are reading concept notes line by line and you are making your own notes, understanding different conditions, then you are a good student and you should get a good score in the RBI 2023. Question number 15 is again on the same paragraph only. As per the section 135, every company which have a net profit of rupees dash or crore or more will be eligible for doing CSR. So again, now here you should understand that it's 5 crore. So there are 3 different conditions. The first is regarding the overall, I should say net profit, which is generally 5 crore. Then you go towards the net worth, and there is also one condition which is regarding the turnover. The turnover should be 1000 crore or more. So this is certain very important conditions which you should remember for CSR. Again, let's move ahead to question number 16. Under question number 16, my friends, according to the SEBI, companies eligible for CSR shall constitute a CSR committee. So companies who are eligible for CSR, they shall form CSR committee. Now, under that particular committee, a board shall consist of dash or more directors, out of which at least dash shall be an independent director. So here, my dear friends, just understand that if you are forming CSR committee, then there will be 3 directors. That's why the answer of this particular question will be C. Okay, so why it is C? Because again, if you see this particular paragraph which we have clearly discussed, or important articles regarding your section 135A, 5, this particular line is covered, right? The board shall consist of 3 or more directors, out of which one director shall be an independent director. And this is your fourth question, and this is your third question, which was based on your CSR. So again, this particular paragraph, those students who are reading and believing and trusting the EduTap content notes, they are easily, and you will see that many students will come to EduTap and they will be thanking us, because this particular question was of 8 marks, my friend. And this is how we have arranged your particular course in so many different conditions are there, but we have just highlighted important, or I should say bold, different conditions. Now, as I have just told you, 2% of average net profit has to be made of the last 3 immediate years for the CSR. Question number 17, my friends. Question number 17 is regarding CSR committee only. I have just tell you that there should be 3 or more directors, out of which the one should be an independent director. What are independent director? Independent director are those people who do not have any direct relationship with the firm. They are just appointed for overseeing the operations of the firm in a good faith. Okay, so here the answer will be 1, which we have just discussed. Now let's move to question number 18. Now here we are moving to debt market, my friend. Okay, which, if I'm not wrong, is chapter number 6 of your finance syllabus. According to the EduTap course I'm talking about, we have clearly demarcated what is equity market in chapter number 5 of your EduTap course, and chapter number 6 is clearly, I should say, allocated to the debt market. And the debt market, we have clearly understood that what is what is overall functioning of debt market, advantages, and how it is compared to the equity market. What are different components? For example, what is the issue price of your T-bills, which is also known as treasury bill. Comment your answers if you know about it. What is the issue price of minimum denomination of T-bill? What is the duration of T-bill? Then we have discussed regarding certificate of deposits as well. What is the minimum denomination? So comment your answers. I will be waiting for your answers if you have it. First, just type the question which you are referring to, and then I will check your answers whether it is correct or not. So let's see who is giving me the right answer. Yes, commercial papers. This particular question is based on commercial paper. So commercial paper are issued for a minimum number of 7 days, my friend. So this is a very easy question. Again, I would say a low hanging fruit for all those people who are trusting us. Why they are trusting us? Because we have provided all the all the information which has been provided by the different regulatory bodies. So commercial paper, my friend, is a very important component when it comes to the debt market. If you see in the debt market, we have under commercial paper segment, the minimum number of days has to be 7. Okay, I hope you know that the minimum denomination has to be 5 lakh. I hope you know about this particular fact as well. And the number of days which can be maximum it can be issued is 365, also known as 1 year. Okay, so this is certain very important functioning regarding commercial paper. Then what is the minimum credit rating required to issue a commercial paper is A3. For example, if you are the I should say, if your commercial paper is let's take of BBB grade, then you cannot issue your commercial paper. You need to have a commercial paper of A3 grade. So these are certain very important conditions which we have clearly described in our course. What is the denomination? For example, we have framed questions in self, because we have seen that student demand questions, and we have just told you regarding different questions. I can see Emelina is going with T-bill minimum amount is 10,000. That's really very good. Many people still mark your answer as T-bill of 25,000. So please be informed that the minimum amount of T-bill has now been updated to 10,000. If you need any source, then let me know. I will give you that particular source. You can mail me your doubt at jalaj@edutap.co.in. This is your rating requirements paragraph. This is your minimum and maximum period. So this has been clearly demarcated in your notes via different questions. Question number 19. Commercial paper can be issued for a maximum duration of 365 days. So again a very close options to give you, but again you have to build your concepts knowledge so that you do not get any confused in the real exam. Okay, so again, we have clearly demarcated what commercial paper is via different categories. If you go in this particular domain, then you will also see the next question in this particular series will be who can issue different commercial papers. So again, a very holistic coverage has been done on each and every part, as simple as that. Question number 20. In commercial papers in India, commercial paper are issued in a denomination of 5 lakh or multiple. So again, I would say this is a very easy question. Very, very easy question. And if you are losing your marks in this question, then sorry to say that you cannot attempt those particular questions which are of difficult level. So first grab all the low hanging fruits and then move to the hard questions, as simple as that. Okay. Till now, if you see, bearing to 10 one marker question which we have just discussed regarding ethics and the import and export code, each and every question was doable. You could have easily marked your answer, and provided that you are studying seriously. For example, if RBI 2023, if you are planning for dedicatedly study for RBI 2023, then it is the right time now only, because you should finish your FM static part including objective plus descriptive by December only. Then you could move to the phase 1 component, and then you can also cover all the current affairs which are in the news. So have a planned, calibrated, quality approach towards your I should say RBI 2023 if you are targeting that exam. Or if you are not a serious candidate, then I would say you are doing a big mistake, because going in RBI itself is a very big achievement. Question number 21. Commercial papers are issued in India in a form of promissory notes. Now, why they are issued in a form of promissory notes, my friend? Because they are unsecured. So please note this particular point, that commercial paper are unsecured. You can, if a company goes in default, then you cannot use the assets of company. As simple as that. That's why we have a very high credit rating requirement for issuing commercial papers in India. Okay, so this is a very important. Now, this is, many students will say it's a type of P note. Okay, which is also known as participatory notes. So then you are completely wrong, because participatory notes are issued for all the foreign portfolio investors who do not want to register in India. So participatory note help them to invest in India via a second route in which they do not have to register themselves in the Indian authorities, with the Indian authorities. So participatory note is different, promissory note is different, debt bill and equity bills were there to just to confuse you. So this is your question number 21, my friends. Now we are moving to the toughest. I should say that this is my toughest question of this particular series. Okay, so RBI is very infamous to ask many questions which were there in its I should say old notifications, or I should say old current affairs. So if you go back to the era of 2017 or 15, then you will find that RBI has issued certain outsourcing norms for your commercial banks as well. But if you ask me, there was a notification by RBI in the year 2022 itself regarding outsourcing activities of urban cooperative banks. So this was a notification which was there by this urban cooperative banks. Now my question to you is, can you tell me the other name of urban cooperative banks? Comment your answers, I will be checking it. What is the other name of urban cooperative banks? So this was a notification, that is what is the outstanding activities of urban cooperative banks. So RBI has just linked it to the commercial bank department, and they have framed this particular question according to the best knowledge of mine, but I'm not predicting why RBI has asked this. Let's now move to this particular question. Typically outsourced financial services include processing, application processing, loan origin and credit card. Now the question is saying that which of the following activities in this particular set of option will be outsourced by a bank? So the answer will be here, all of the above. Because if you see all the different banks, if they want to save their time, they can outsource, they can give the responsibility of this particular. Good Amlina, I'm really very surprised that what you are able to give all the correct answers. Urban cooperative banks are also known as primary cooperative banks. So very good. Now coming back to this question, if you see, banks are really very in I should say in a very big pressure. They have to do all the different operations. So what does outsourcing means? Outsourcing means that they can pass certain functions which are not that much critical to the other party, and that other party will perform on the bank behalf. So again, application processing, loan origination, credit card, as well as your all the activities like supervision of loan, investment, document processing and data processing. All these different functions can be passed to some other entity which will perform on that particular bank's behalf. So here the correct answer will be option E. Now this particular notification was pretty much unique, and if you are not having any information regarding it, you can leave it. But at the end of the day, if you are having that capacity to take risk, and if you are going good in the other questions, then you could have attempted this question. But again, if I was on your place, I could have left this particular question, provided that I do not have that particular knowledge at that particular day. As simple as that. Question number 23. Now in question number 22, RBI has asked you which activities can be done. Now in 23, they are asking you which activities cannot be outsourced. So again, there are certain activities which cannot be outsourced by a bank. Some of them are A and B. These are the certain two blanks which have been given. Now you have to identify A. So if you see investment management, core management function. So if I was on your place, I will mark this particular answer because core management function. For example, appointing of any managing director, or you can also say new providing a resignation certificate to the managing director. These are certain very core management functions. For example, if I am launching a new website of, let's say, any bank like SBI or something, then I will be taking that particular function in my hand. I cannot outsource that. So that's why the answer of this particular question will be option B, that is core management function. Okay. Again, question number 24 is on the similar lines. Now, again, if you see investment management, determining compliance with the KYC norms. Now, this is not the set of options which was there in the real exam, but I have talked to many students who have given the phase 2 of this particular exam year. They are saying that the answer of this particular question will be determining compliance with the KYC norm. Now, we all know that under Anti-Money Laundering Act, Prevention of Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2002, Prevention of Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2002, KYC has been mandatory. KYC has to be done by each and every bank with all the different customers. So that is a very, again, a core management function which banks cannot outsource. So again, in question number 23 and 24, you have to identify those activities which cannot be outsourced by the bank. So here the answer will be option B. Now let's move to question number 25, which I should say is a very beautiful question. Provided that if your concepts are clear, then you could have easily marked your answers in this question. Now first let's understand what paragraph is talking about. Ram is currently working in XYZ company and he is employed for the company for a long period of time. Another company which is very much in the news is ABC company. So Ram is working under XYZ company and he is working there for a long period of time. But there is also one company which is ABC company. ABC company, which is in the news. ABC company is operating on small scale and it has a huge growth potential. So mark these keywords first only. Ram has also got fascinated by the growth prospects of the ABC company and thereby he decided to join the ABC company. ABC company has offered high reputed position to Ram and thereby making Ram accepted the job offer. So the overall picture is that Ram is now going into the ABC company because of the high growth prospects. Very easy. Soon after joining ABC company, the colleagues of his ABC company were not happy with the Ram. So they were not happy with Ram because Ram was directly recruited from outside and straight away he was promoted to the senior most position. So again, the overall picture now says that Ram has been promoted to a higher position in ABC company, but here all the different employees who were previously working under in the ABC company are not liking Ram now because he has been directly taken from the outside and not internal promotions are not taken place, only the external promotion is going on. Moreover, after some time, Ram complained regarding the poor working conditions of air conditioners, desk and chair in the office, but the office authority didn't pay any attention to Ram complaint. And after getting frustrated, Ram decided to leave. He also decided to leave ABC company and decided to start his own venture. So this is the, I should say, 90% of the replica of the same paragraph which was there in your examination as well. So if you can answer this particular question, then your all the concept regarding motivation are cleared. Now question says that as Ram complained regarding poor working conditions of air conditioners, desk and chairs. As per Clayton-Hertzberg theory, which of the following need of Ram is not met? So we all know that Clayton-Hertzberg is very famous for two-factor theory. The first factor is satisfiers. The second factor is hygiene factors, my friend. Okay. So under satisfier, it is more of internal factors which stay for a long period of time. Hygiene factors are more of an external factors which are there for a low period of time. Satisfier decide how motivated you are. Okay, and hygiene factors, as I have told you, they decide whether you are dissatisfied or not dissatisfied. Okay. Now, if you see, the answer of this particular question will be hygiene. Why? Because working conditions of air conditioner, desk and chair, all these are external factors. This makes the answer, yeah, hygiene factor, hygiene needs. Okay. The correct answer will be B. Again, I have just copy pasted your screenshot of the exact, I should say, explanation which is there in your course. All you can see that satisfier has been explained by different components. Dissatisfaction, which is caused by hygiene factors, and satisfaction is caused by motivating factors. Again, each and everything has been explained very beautifully in your course. If you have time, read it. It's very much in the chapter number 1 only, which is motivation part 1. Okay. Again, based on the same paragraph, they have asked you, as Ram shifted from XYZ to ABC, this change of job can be explained by which of the following theories. So now see this particular line. There are some growth prospects in ABC company, and thereby he decided to join the ABC company. So this is the growth needs which have been explained by different I should say, authors. Existence needs, if you see ERG theory, my friend, ERG, that is existence, relatedness and growth. Relatedness, growth, existence. Okay, so all these different parameters has been given by Clayton Hansberg. Sorry, not Clayton Hansberg, it has been given by Elderfer. Okay, just a slip of tongue, sorry. So this has been given by Elderfer, my friends. So all the different components of ERG theory are very much easy to understand. Existence is more about basic psychological needs and safety needs of Maslow. Relatedness needs is all about belongingness needs of Maslow. Growth need is all about self-esteem needs as well as self-actualization needs of Maslow. So here the correct answer will be option D, because under growth needs of Elderfer theory of motivation, you will see that how Ram has shifted from other company due to the growth prospects. So that's why the answer of this particular question will be option D. Again, low hanging fruit, nothing much to think, you could have easily marked the answer. Now this is a very beautiful diagram, and we have received many positive feedback for this particular diagram, that how different motivational theories or motivational needs of Maslow were copied by Elderfer. Okay, so this is your motivational side of Maslow pyramid, I would say, and this is your Elderfer. Okay, so you just have to understand that how Elderfer formed his theory based on the motivational theory which was given by Maslow. Question number 27. As Ram is a very talented employee, we all know that Ram has come to the ABC company now. So the question says that Ram is a very talented talented employee. What could ABC company could have provided to Ram so that Ram can be retained back? Now here, if you see this particular paragraph, all the different employees of ABC company are not happy with Ram. They are not giving him a good, I should say, aroma. They are giving him the negative vibes because they are not having good relations. So that's why the social environment needs to be improved, and that's why if social environment is improved, Ram could stay back in the organization, and he could again continue in this particular organization, provided that each and every person whom he is working with is loving him as well. As simple as that. Now the answer will not be the autonomy part, because under autonomy it's like the freedom to do a task, and the passage has nothing to do with that particular component. Interpersonal relationship can be a potential answer, but if you see, if I'm making a superset, this is your social environment, then I would say interpersonal relationship is a subset. So I will be always choosing that that component which is a superset that will encompass your interpersonal relationships. Higher pay cannot be an answer. Okay. So this was your motivational part, and I have explained you that why different components are there in this question. Question number 28, which was based on your communication. Now again, I would say a very easy question based on communication. So herein you have to first understand the whole paragraph and then mark your answers. In the above mentioned passage, indicate which of the following expect. So there are certain aspects of communication, like communication process, communication dynamics, communication overall terminologies, different types of communication, and so on and so forth. So here, my friend, the correct answer will be option B. Why? Because see, communication cycle. Now this has been a clear definition of communication. Okay, communication cycle refers to the step which communication takes place by a sender and receiver. So this has been explained by a communication process only. A very easy question, I would say. If you are losing marks in this particular domain, then you are hitting your leg with the Excel, I would say. Why? Because these are the marks wherein you have to score big. The correct answer will be option B. And this has been the picture which has been clearly given in your course as well, that what is communication process is all about, how different components are there under communication process, and how you can use communication process to achieve organizational effectiveness. Question number 29 says that you have to identify this A component from this particular program. So this particular passage says that the communication cycle refers to the step through which communication takes place between the sender and receiver. This process starts with the conceptualizing of an idea, which is also known as message. The first and the foremost step in communication process is message. So that's why the correct answer here will be option B. Okay, so the first is development of idea. Remember, this is a very important stage, and then you form your messages. So message is the first stage of communication. Now some will also say that this can be a message stage as well. Yes, different people have defined communication in via their own way. So the first and the foremost stage of communication is message. Okay, and then encoding of the message takes place. Then you encode that message. Then sender selects the medium of the channel, and then the sender transmits it to the receiver. Now receiver receives the messages, then he decodes it. Okay, because encoding is done, then the decoding has also been done. And then there is a loop wherein the receiver shares the feedback. Now here receiver will share the feedback to the sender and convey him that yes, your message has been received by me, and the overall the mutual understanding. Remember, essence of communication is not just transmission of ideas. Essence of communication is mutual understanding. What is mutual understanding? That the sender as well as your receiver are standing on the same level of understanding. As simple as that. Okay, so this was overall objective analysis, I would say. Again, if you are serious aspirant, then I will say that scoring 35 plus is a must thing. 35 is the minimum limit which you have to target in the objective component. 35 plus is a very good score, I should say. And if you are scoring above this particular domain, then you could have easily, I should say, excelled in this particular domain. Now coming to the descriptive questions. Now before moving ahead, I would give you a disclaimer. No question in descriptive is a perfect question, I would say, because each and every person has its own way of writing. They may explain a certain thing in its own way. So I will be discussing very general way that how you should attempt your question, and I will be also giving you some common hints for attempting a question. So under 400 words, 10 markers, the first question was regarding long-term operations, long-term repo operation. Now, if you see in the COVID-19 pandemic, my friends, RBI has been one of the front runners to save the Indian economy. RBI has been the most proactive organization in the whole country to save the Indian economy from collapsing. They have provided you the liquidity support. They have also made sure that all the critical banking infrastructure is working on the time. They've also made sure that all the different government schemes are supported via dividend which has been given by RBI. So RBI receives a very good thumbs up for managing the COVID-19 crisis. And if you are updated with the different views which has been shared by different RBI governors, if you just see that how Raghuram Rajan has promoted RBI, or how he has appreciated RBI regarding accumulation of foreign reserves. So again, RBI reserves a very good thumbs up for COVID-19 management. Now, what are long-term repo operations, my friend? If you are reading RBI annual report, my friends, then the RBI has clearly told you that what are repo operations, what are targeted long-term repo operations, what are long-term repo operations. So first you have to understand that what are repo operations, then what is long-term repo operation, then what is targeted long-term repo operation. So again, this is a very, I should say, current affairs oriented topic. There should be some numbers as well, like 1,25,117 crores has been issued by RBI, so on and so forth. Now, if you see, RBI has clearly demarcated 26 sectors which needs funding as well, and the funding was provided under targeting long-term repo operations. There was a committee which was formed under KV Kamnath committee, if I am not wrong. KV Kamnath committee was formed to disperse out the negative effects from these 26 sectors. There were 5 different ratios which was identified as well. So all this you can use and frame your answers. Now I'm not going towards an ideal answer. I'm just showing you that how different components can be there in your answers. So again, in EduTap note, we have covered RBI annual report specifically because we understand the overall importance of RBI annual report. All the different figures were there. All the different criteria were there, and if you are reading RBI annual report even for your interview part, then it's really very good to go. Okay, so this was your targeted long-term repo operations. If you ask me the journal operation, in the intro part, you could have first started with the negative effects of COVID-19, just 1 or 2 line introduction, and then you could have mentioned that how RBI is using long-term repo operations for doing that. In the body part, define what repo operation is, define what long-term repo operation is, there should be a link. Then what is targeted long-term repo operations are, that how RBI is going deep into these 26 sectors and how they are helping him. In the conclusion part, you could have said that how RBI has been the front runner to save the Indian economy from the COVID-19 pandemic, and one of the potent tool was long-term repo operations. This was the overall, I should say, approach which you should follow. But again, I just said you could have your own approach as well. Now, question number 2, my friend, describes India's response in 2008 global financial crisis. Now, those who are sitting for my LPS sessions, live practice sessions, which were going in the phase 2 part of RBI, then we have clearly discussed this particular question over there, that in this particular session, that is global financial crisis, when I was discussing all the different probable questions, you should practice what is global financial crisis, how world reacted to it, and how India reacted to it. As simple as that, and you could have answered your 400 marks within 25 minutes. Yes, my friend, this particular question is something which you should practice beforehand only, and if you have practiced it beforehand, then in the real exam that should not take 25 minutes more. Okay, it should take maximum 25 minutes. Now again, to answer this particular question, first you could have started with the global financial crisis, that how global financial erupted in the year 2007 and 8, using financial year 2007 and 8, how Goldman Sachs, how different Lehman Brothers collapsed, what was the overall repercussions in the world, and the body part you could have tell what steps were taken by the India. Again, you could not start your answer directly with the Indian response. You should first describe what GFC is all about, and you should also give this particular statement, like how India remained unscathed, how India remained dirt free from the global financial crisis. So you could have discussed different parameters which were taken in the fiscal policy, which were taken in the monetary policy, and tell your answer according to that. In the body part, again, you should divide it into two parts. The first, you should describe regarding the fiscal policy which has been controlled by the government, because in the question is regarding the India's response. So India's response was, I should say, on the dual side, fiscal policy, and then you could have also told about monetary policy as well. How RBI used monetary policy instrument like repo rates, reverse repo rates, and how government used fiscal conditions like spending, so on and so forth. So if you see EduTap course, we have clearly used this particular, I should say, understanding of this particular question, like how different steps were taken, how RBI reduced SLR, and so on and so forth. Okay. And in the body part, you could say that India remained unscattered because of the different efforts which were taken by the Indian government and RBI. So this is again a very easy question, I would say, if provided that if you have knowledge regarding different conditions. Question number 3, describe manager's role in ethical behavior, not unethical behavior, it's ethical behavior in the organization. So if you have to describe manager role. Now, if you see in the ethics component, if I'm not wrong, ethics is chapter number 16 of your course, of your management syllabus in our EduTap course. Under section 16A, that is the next chapter, that is 16A, we have provided you the model question and answers. Model question and answer we have given you like 10 marker question, 15 marker question, and we have discussed all the PYQs of that particular chapter. So if you see question number 2 of model question and answer, discuss how board of director of a company can set the tone for ethical culture. Now again, if you are practicing your model question and answer, then you could have replaced board of directors with manager, and you could have just copy pasted the entire answer, provided that you have practiced it beforehand. Again, what is ethics program? Discuss the best practices. You could have used certain best practices and apply the word manager, that how manager is using certain best practices for creating an ethical organization. So this is how you have to use all the material which is available in the EduTap course. Practice all the model question and answer which have been provided in your course. Practice on them, and totally you should understand the importance of model question and answer, because these are very important internal conditions of descriptive component. So these were 3 different questions which are of 10 marker. Now we are going to cover those questions which are of 15 markers. So the first, identify the barriers to interpersonal communication and how manager can reduce it. Again, I should say this particular question is a very easy question, and you could have attempted this particular question under 30 minutes. Yes, my dear friend, if you have to complete your paper of descriptive on time, then you could take 20 to 25 minutes in attempting 400 mark question, or I should say 400 word limit question, which is a 10 marker question, and you should take maximum 30 minutes for 15 mark question. Okay, so identify the barriers. So if you see our EduTap course, we have clearly, like my friends, clearly we have discussed all the barriers of communication. First, there is semantic barriers. Then we have discussed what semantic is. Then going forward, we have psychological, organizational, personal. Each and everything has been decoded in a very slow, not slow, I should say, it's very holistic language. Sometimes it seems boredom, but at the end of the day, if you are reading concept notes line by line, my friends, again, I want to repeat, you are building great conceptual clarity. And if you are not a good reader, then you can watch all the videos as well. So it depends upon the student type what you are and how you have to make the communication effective. You kind of described different points in the short form as possible. So in this particular question, identify the barriers of interpersonal communication. The first, you should define what communication is. Then you should tell that what communication effective communication is. Then tell that how different barriers are there under effective communication. Then when you are using the word barriers in the body part, tell about different categories of barrier in a very short and sweet format manner, discuss about some real life examples, and then move to the second component of body, which is how manager can reduce it. So this will also come under body only, mind you, my friends. Okay, this will not go under conclusion. So how manager can reduce it? Manager can play a role of, I should say, as a visionary leader, and then so on and so forth. So you can use all the different principles which I have just quoted from the EduTap course only. And then in the conclusion part, you could have said that how manager role is must in making communication smooth and process. As simple as that. Okay. Now let's move to question number 2. Question number 2 is regarding people and organizations are resistant to change. Describe measure to eradicate it. Again, mark my words, OB, OC. These two are the chapters which you should first give priority first after doing all the basic chapters of management. Like if you are done with motivation, communication, journal management and leadership, then directly move to OB and OC. These are very important chapters. Then you could have moved to the higher advanced chapters of ethics and so on and so forth. But again, OB and OC, I have just told you that how different questions were there under OB, that how RBI has asked you different levels of OB, what are the individual levels, and how what is workplace diversity. Under organization change, all the models, for example, the leave-in change model is also very important. So different models have been discussed. Right now, RBI is going on this particular question, which has been clearly taken from your organizational change. People and organization are resistant to change. Describe measures to eradicate it. Now, my dear friends, to my surprise, I was seeing all the model question and answer, and this question has been clearly taken from that particular domain only. So if you are seeing all the model question and answers, and if you have the courage to practice them, then all your descriptive worries will be taken care of. Model question and answer is the most important key. You practice, you send your answer for the evaluation to the expert team of EduTap, and your answer will get evaluated as well. So again, this particular question has been taken from your EduTap course as well. That is, suggest measures that can reduce to overcome resistance to change. Again, you have to reduce this resistance to change. The same measure has been there in an organization. So again, you can discuss different techniques for overcoming resistance to change. You could have easily started your line with some, I should say, different definitions which have been given by various authors. So we have provided you that performa as well. So overall, I should say this is the exact model question which came in your real exam as well. So practice all the different question and answers which are there in your course, and you will get a very high dividend for the same. Question number 3 is regarding your fintech. My dear friends, fintech. Last year RBI has asked you regarding regulatory sandbox. So this time they have not gone with the fintech in the objective part, but they have asked a question on descriptive on the on the fintech in the descriptive part. Now, how will blockchain disturb banking? So this is a very open question. You could have first described what is blockchain all about, how blockchain is coming in the banking part, and how different roles will change. And in the body part, you could have you could have discussed regarding various advantages which blockchain is offering to the banking. So again, blockchain, or to some extent AI, that is artificial intelligence. You could have also used that how different banks have started using blockchain to keep all the records, how different government records of land are now kept in blockchain. And then in the last, you could have discussed regarding the future of blockchain in the Indian banking industry. So this is a very easy question, I would say, if you are having that views of reading newspaper, if you are updated with all the current affairs, then you could have easily attempted this question. But if you take my view, I would have attempted this question under less than 30 minutes only, because that is the most critical part of your overall descriptive part, that you have to complete the first lesson and then move forward. So again, blockchain and cryptocurrency, directly taken from your fintech chapter only. So we have discussed regarding different components of blockchain, my friends, that how blockchain is used in the forex department as well, how blockchain has been used in reducing speed of banking transaction, so on and so forth. So again, I should say this is an open question wherein you could write anything related to blockchain first and how it is being used in the Indian banking industry. So my dear friend, this was an overall life solving class for all of you, and we have seen that how a good score in the objective part was 35. In the descriptive part, if you see the analysis, or if you see the analysis of marking of previous year of 2021, then RBI has been, I should say, liberal in the terms of marking. So again, you could have scored minimum 30, or I should say 35 here as well. So your score should be minimum 70. This I am telling that you could get interview goal, and it will also help you to be in the final merit list. So, ending on a positive note, my friends, if you are targeting your RBI Grade B 2023, so please have a deadline of December. Please complete all your finance and management sections by December only, so that you could be a pro in the phase 2 level, and then you can start your phase 1 preparations from December onwards, or max to max January onwards. So if you have any doubts, you can mail us at the hello@edutap.co.in, or you can also call at this particular number. At the end of the day, you can also visit our website for all the different courses. So thank you, people. I'm ending my lecture right now. I hope it was a good session, and I hope it was an eye opener for all of you, that how you have to study and how you have to segregate different topics. So if you have any doubt for me, you can post your doubts in the comment box. I'm just waiting for another 5 minutes. I should say not 5 minutes. Let's wait for another only 2 minutes only. If you have any doubt regarding anything, you can let me know. If not, then I will close towards this. I will move to the closure of this session. Okay, so I see the chat box is empty, so there is no doubt I can see. So chalo, wishing you all the best, and be healthy, and I wish